evening, friends. Happy Monday. Welcome to my live. And if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on this evening, or if you're watching the replay later, say hi in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. And also, if you're watching later, just go ahead and put hashtag replay in the comments. I want to let you know that I am using an online platform called StreamYard, so I'm live in 3 locations this evening. My Facebook business page, my Facebook private crafty group, and my YouTube channel. And I tell you that just so that I'm transparent, and if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your comment feed, that viewer may be watching and commenting from a different platform, so I just didn't want you to be confused. Also, if you're watching from my private Facebook group, I just need to slow down. If you wouldn't mind giving StreamYard permission to access your profile name and pic, that way you show up underneath your name and not Facebook user in my comments, so I know who to say hi to. Speaking of saying hi, I see that Bonita is on. She's asking if I had a glorious weekend. I did. My husband and I went out of town for our 23rd wedding anniversary, and it was a ton of fun. We celebrated our anniversary. We celebrated Mother's Day. It was also International Scrapbook Day. So between Friday and Saturday, I visited 3 different local scrapbook stores in Kansas City and bought lots of yummy scrapbook paper. So thanks for asking. I also see Jason and Dane are watching from the game room. They are putting together a new gaming desk for Dane, so I'm sure they're having lots of fun. So make sure you do all of this fun stuff. And if you wouldn't mind spreading some of the chalk love all around Facebook world, that would be great. Tag any of your crafty friends. Share this to any groups that you may have permission to share groups to. Share the video to your personal Facebook page. Any and all help would be greatly appreciated. So with that, just set that to the side there. I'm going to flip the camera, and we are going to work on our project. So I have this 5x7 board and base. I had used the January Club Couture transfer on this, so it's been on here for several months. So we are going to redesign on this board. So while we are waiting to go ahead and get started, the cool thing about Chalk Couture products, and especially the way they work together, is that the chalk paste is, it goes on semi-permanent, so it dries hard to the touch. Hi, Adia, how are you? Welcome this evening. So it dries hard to the touch. I'm rubbing really hard. I'm not getting any of it off, but the magic happens when you spray it with water. It does reactivate the paste, and you can redesign on certain surfaces. So like these chalkboard surfaces from Chalk Couture, most glass, most metal. Some metals may stain, but the nice thing is you invest in the higher end chalkboard surfaces, and then you can keep redesigning on those surfaces, and all you have to store are your transfers and your paste. That was the main concept and the main selling point when Chalk Couture originally started. But you know, people hack everything, so you can use Chalk Couture on glass, surface, or metals, wood, whether it be raw or painted, fabric, you name it. People have chalked on hand saw, like rustic vintage hand saws. My friend Bonita, who's on this evening, she chalked on a vintage suitcase, which looks super cute. So as you can see, the design comes right off. There is a little bit of shadowing where my design was. See, if I tilt it like that into the light, you can see where my original design was. But I can also follow up, spray it again, wet my board eraser, and that will help remove a lot more of that shadowing or ghosting. Let's just use this towel over here, and through the magic of television and Chalk Couture products, you can no longer see the original design. Don't ask me how it works. It's the Chalk Couture voodoo magic, but it is fantastic. That is its magic. Okay, so we have our Chalk Couture board and base. So now I have my silkscreen reusable transfers. These are a sticky back and transfer. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times. So I'm using this Travel Heart size A 5x7 transfer, and then I'm going to be using the Travel Stamps Mini transfer. It is a size B. It's 8.5 by 11. Because these are reusable, I do want to write the name on the back. So this one was called Travel Heart. And I'm writing the name on the back so that when I am done cleaning these transfers, I know which transfer goes on which carrier sheet. And I know that this is the back side of the carrier sheet so that I can put the transfer back on the right side. So if you've ever put a sticker on the wrong side, or if you've ever tried to peel off a sticker from a piece of paper, that's kind of what it's like to put these transfers on the wrong side of the carrier sheet. So this little board and base can either go landscape like this, or it can go portrait like this, which is cool. It's also double-sided, which this side is kind of messy. We'll get that wiped off. So tonight we're going to be using it this way, and I'm putting it back in its base just so I can kind of get this placed correctly. So it looks like if I just place it at the bottom of the base, we should be okay. So I'm peeling the transfer away from the backer sheet, and I'm just placing the sticky side down on a terry cloth towel, and I'm doing that just to lay down a small layer of lint or fuzz. That way when I go to take this transfer off of this surface when I'm done, it will not stick so hard that it pulls or distorts the transfer, because then it may not work again the next time. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. That looks pretty good. So now that I have it placed, I'm just going to take the base off, and then I'm just going to burnish where all of that silkscreen material is. So now you can see my chalkboard through the silkscreen mesh. So anywhere where you see the black is where I need to chalk. And I kind of used this ribbon as my inspiration. So it has kind of like a baker's twine yarn. So I pulled out Couture Teal, Sunnyside, and White. And unfortunately, Sunnyside is currently sold out right now. But you could mix Bumblebee in with White and get a lighter shade of yellow. If you can tell, Bumblebee's a lot brighter. But if you wanted this muted color, you just need to add Bumblebee to white, and you could get a softer shade of yellow. So I'm going to open my pastes. And you want your paste to be kind of a yogurt or sour cream consistency. I'm just going to grab a couple of different size squeegees here. Just pull that one. So I think I'm going to do the postage stamps in white. And then I think I'm going to do the travel in the teal, and then these two lines in Sunnyside. And so I'm going to do the paste and pull method. So I'll do my white, and then I'll pull it up to release the transfer and silk screen from the paste. And then I'll go on and do my other sections. I think I'm going to grab a multi-tool. Okay. So I'm just going to grab one of my squeegees, and this one is one of the small squeegees that I've just cut in half, just so I can get a smaller size. So I'm just going to dip it in the chalk paste, get a little bit on my squeegee, and then I'm just going to drag it down the silk screen area, covering up all of that mesh. And then once I have it all covered up, I'm going to take my squeegee and I'm going to run it back over, and I'm going to remove all of my excess paste. I'm going to put it back in the jar so I can save it for another project. And then I'm just going to smooth out any of my squeegee lines, because those will dry and those will show in the design if you don't remove them. So because chalk paste dries semi-permanent and hard to the touch, I don't want it to dry in my silk screen. So I'm just going to pull that area up. I just want to show you, look at that fine detail. I didn't have to weed anything. I didn't have to cut any vinyl. I was able to get that fine detail. And that's really hard to do if you're using a vinyl stencil or even a vinyl decal. So I'm just going to dry that. And then I'm just going to gently lay it back down, but I'm going to make sure I burnish the area right underneath it. So then the next area is going to be Sunnyside. I know these aren't typical travel colors, but they're just colors that kind of speak to me. I happened to look at my yarn stash, and this yarn kind of popped out at me. So that's what we're going with. So I'm just using the multi-tool. It has a smaller squeegee on the end. It's nice to get into those little tight surfaces or tight areas. And again, I'm going to pull that area to expose it and release it from the transfer. This would also be cute if you were a travel journaler, or if you had to do a scrapbook page on a recent trip that you took. This would be cute just to literally chalk on your cardstock, and then you could use it in your layout. Anita says, I just love how detailed that the transfers are. Yeah, I mean, I'll show you again. Even with that second line, just the detail. That would be really hard to weed if you tried to weed that with, or tried to use vinyl to create that. So now I'm using the teal, and I'm just going to try to stick to the word travel. I'm going to flip it upside down so I'm going away from the area that I still need to paste. That way I don't go rogue. So I'm just removing all of my excess. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do the rest because the teal is a large enough area that it shouldn't dry before I can get this line done. We shall see. Okay. So now let's pull all that up. So I'm just going to lay, I didn't have time to go get my bucket of water, so I'm just laying my transfer on a towel, and I'm just going to spray it just to keep it wet. Keep that paste wet until I'm ready to clean it. And I'm just going to put it off to the side. Jason says, beautiful. I'm going to put my squeegees to the side because I'm done with those. So if you didn't want to do any embellishing, you could just pop this board into the base, and in less than 20 minutes, you could be good to go. So there is this project if you didn't want to add any embellishing. Honestly, it took me less time to chalk this than it did to pick out what I wanted to do tonight. I did not know what to do. So yeah, you could just leave it just like this, but who wants to leave it like that? So I happen to have this little piece of wood laying around, just this little 2.5-inch circle. So I thought I would pull the travel stamp minis out. It won't fit all of these perfectly. That's pretty close. So we've got the work, travel, repeat. I also thought about I could just use the inside of this one. It says just go. You could also do this half bag will travel. That one, I think it'll fit on there, but I think it's more of an oval than it is a circle. This New York one would fit. You could even just do like a portion of one if you wanted to. I don't know. I'm torn between these three. Half bag will travel, work, travel, repeat, or just go. And you do notice, I forgot to point out earlier, that this transfer has suggested cut lines. So you could completely cut your transfer apart, but I like to keep mine intact. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to score along those cut lines. So I'm just lifting up a portion of the transfer, and I'm just putting my scissors underneath that layer, and then I'm just scoring down the transfer. I kind of like this half bag will travel, so I think we'll use it and see how it works on this shape. And I'm going to wax it gently because it is a raw wood, and I don't want my transfer to pull up any of those raw fibers, so I'm just using some of the surface wax, and I'm just going to put a light layer of wax on my circle. In fact, let's just use this side. Okay, so then let's buff that out just to get it down into all those nooks and crannies. It'll also be a protective layer between my transfer and my wood piece. Again, I'm going to fuzz it a couple of times. And I may only just do the half bag will travel, just because I can't guarantee that this just looks like an oval to me and not a circle. Yeah, so I'm just going to do the half bag will travel. Don't know what color. I think I'm going to pull out a little bit of black. And I'm just going to use the detail tool, which that's an even smaller squeegee end. I'm just going to get a tiny bit. So I'm just covering up all of that silkscreen material. And then I'm just going to even everything out. Try to get rid of those squeegee lines. Pull up any excess paste. Again, since I'm not washing it right away, I'm going to try to keep it wet. Just a little bit of water. Oh, darn it. Got that on my Let's see if I can get that up with the Q-tip. Okay. Got a little bit of water on there, so I had to get that off. Look at that. Perfect little tag. Half bag will travel. Okay, so let's grab our board and some yarn. I'm just going to use it kind of like I would my twine. I'm just going to wrap it around the board 3 or 4 times, maybe more. Let's do it a little bit more. And I'm going to cut it off. And then I'm just going to tie a knot. And then I think I'm going to just do a little loopy bow like I usually make. So I'm going to leave a long piece for my right tail. And so I'm just making my left loop and then my right loop, left loop, right loop, left loop, right loop. I'll add a few more. Add a few more loops than normal just because this is so thin. So then we'll cut that off and that'll be our left tail. So I'm just going to lay that down on my knots here. And then we'll tie it once. And then I'm going to grab our tag. And then we're just going to tie it on. I think I might add another layer of loops just to kind of but I'm going to make it a little small, a little less, or a little more narrow, I should say. Not going to make the loops as long. Okay. So then I'm going to find my strings again. So then this way the bow will be kind of laying on top of the tag. Looks a little better. It's a loopy. Okay, so then I'm just going to cut off my looping, my little tails here to where they're all somewhat even. Cut those a little shorter on this side. Oops. And then you can always kind of spread these apart a little bit. You could also, instead of wrapping it around the board, you could have wrapped it around the base. Lots of different options. So there's our cute little tag. I have bag will travel. So then let's flip our camera back around and I'll show you what it looks like from this view. So there is my heart was made to travel, but there's no place like home. And then the little tag says have bag will travel. Super cute and a little under 30 minutes from start to finish. I just have about 5 minutes worth of cleanup and then this project is completely done. I do have a cart link in the description of the video if you want to see what supplies I use to create this project. With the cart link, you can it will load everything into your cart and you can add or subtract however you like. What else? Let's go through a few of our monthly promotions. Just a reminder that this is the Club Couture transfer for the month. It is the Ice Cold Lemonade. It's actually, I think, called Lemonade Stand. It is an exclusive B-size transfer. The only way to get this transfer is to either be a club member or a designer. As a club member, you would receive this transfer plus 3 chalk paste singles, and I believe the colors this month are Bumblebee, Meadow, and Storm. So this DIY monthly kit is mailed straight to your mailbox for $19.99 a month, and there's no additional shipping cost for it to arrive in your mailbox. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to subscribe, but you can cancel at any time after your 3-month subscription. Also, as a club member, you do get $4.95 flat rate shipping on any additional chalk site order. Also, as a club member this month, oops, wrong one, you can take advantage of the Paste Palooza. So you can save up to 50% on either of these 2 chalk paste trios. They are listed under the specials category on my chalk site. So you can get the Daisy Chain Trio, which has white, bumblebee, or meadow, or you can get the Call Me Maybe Trio, which has candy apple, couture teal, and black velvet. I'm not for sure what the retail price would be, but you do get 50% off of that paste trio as a club member. Also, as a club member, if you spend $50 and also add a $5 donation to Watts of Love, you can receive 2 size A retired mystery transfers in your order just for submitting a $50 order plus a $5 Watts of Love donation. Non-Club Couture members can also take advantage of this. If you also add $50 to your cart and a $5 donation to Watts of Love into your cart, you will also receive 1 size A retired mystery transfer with your order. And all customers this month can take advantage of Transfer Palooza. So you can buy any 2 transfers and get 1 for free of equal value or less, and you can stack that. So if you buy 2, you can get 1 free. If you buy 4 transfers, you can get 2 free. If you buy 6 transfers, you can get 3 free, and so on and so on. So that is a terrific deal. I highly anticipate some transfers selling out, especially any of the Celebration Suite summer transfers. Those are while supplies last and will not be restocked. So if you're wanting any of those transfers, this would be a great opportunity and a great way to take advantage of those. And just also as a reminder, we do have 2 ways that you can become a designer if you like what you see today. And if you're like me and your wish list was way bigger than your wallet, signing up to be a designer is a great way to get the starter kit, which is a $250 value for $99. You also, as a designer, get 40% off of all of your products. So that is $99 plus tax and shipping. If that is a little too steep, there's also the Business Builder Starter Kit. It is $19 a month, or $19 at sign up. You also, either option, get a one-time 15% off coupon, and you can stack that on top of your 40% off automatic designer discount. So if you have any questions about that, just don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask. I would be more than happy to answer any of your questions. That's it. I will be live again on Wednesday evening at 7:45 p.m. Central Time. I appreciate you hanging out with me this evening, and I hope to see you on Wednesday. Thanks for watching.